Allan Umana knows firsthand the horrors of war.
I deployed for about, I think, 7 or 8 months. I was in Iraq, the western part of Iraq, Al-Assad, and I was everywhere.
As a Navy corpsman attached to the 1st Marine Division in Iraq, he was exposed to the sights, sounds, and smells that marked the experience of combat.
While I was over there, not only did I provide medical support, but I was also with the chaplain. Seeing the guys when they were alive, and then the chaplain would, say the last rites. When I came back from my deployments, there was, the deliverer of the bad news. And so that was, it's as if it never ended. Going with the chaplain and either the battalion XO, executive officer, or CO, the commanding officer, and telling the parent or the wife and knocking on their door and having the mom or the wife just grab your uniform and just shake you and wanting to know how it all happened. The only thing I could think about was how my mom didn't have to go through that and how blessed I was to come back.
When his deployment ended, these memories became the shadows in his mind that followed him back to his hometown of Austin, Texas.
It's a type of like oppression, and you feel like that cloud follows you everywhere you go.
An employee of the city's Parks and Recreation Department, Allan found it increasingly difficult to handle his job and the self-imposed withdrawal and isolation that accompanied his condition.
The ugly was coming out. And that's when I realized, when my marriage in the first year or two was going downhill. And I remember wanting to do certain things, and I failed at them. And I was like, you know what, there's something not right.
It is estimated that between 11 to 20% of service members returning from deployment in Afghanistan and Iraq have symptoms of PTSD. Of these, 50% do not receive treatment for their condition.
You're taught to override weakness and pains, and that, just get through it and move on to the next thing.
I know he was going through his church for support, but at work he was falling apart. Internally, he was just compressing it all like a lot of veterans do. They call it the war within.
The worst case scenario, 5,000 to 8,000 suicide deaths every year among all U.S. military veterans.
About a year ago, there's been a national movement through Health and Human Services and the VA to partner with about 20 cities, and we're one of those cities in the country. It's called the Mayor's Initiative to help end veteran suicide, to stop the epidemic, if you will, of 22 veterans a day committing suicide in our country. And we've experienced that in this city. We've lost several veterans to suicide in our city. And it's unfortunate, and when Mayor Adler heard about this initiative, he said, absolutely, yes, let's do it.
The City of Austin and our partners are committed to working together to bring this vital support to our active duty service members, those serving in the National Reserve and Guard, veterans and their family.
We started a proactive approach to trying to raise the awareness in our workforce for PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and MST, military sexual trauma, because we have so many of our employees who have multiple deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, and we just said, we got to do something.
The City of Austin has reached out to give Allan the personal and professional support he needs by assisting him in receiving ADA accommodation for PTSD.
We knew who to connect in this realm to provide help.
There you go. Okay, you want to do the last one by yourself?
Well, I know it changed his life.
With the continued support of his faith, family, and the city of Austin, Allan is looking forward to a rewarding and meaningful life and a bright future ahead.
In the beginning, there is that sense of guilt. But when that goes away and you're able to deal with it, you feel like I'm alive and I'm here and life is precious and there is hope.